All right, so let's just do a quick trade recap right here. So, this was technically a loss, but also, price went into our first take profit. But the reason as to why it's not a win is because I exited early on this trade with a loss, because I was, upset that I didn't follow my rules, so I exited early. But, price still eventually went to our first take profit. But here on the daily, we can see that price is currently bearish, even though it is setting up to be it's technically not bearish. It's still bullish, and that was my issue. I counted it as bearish, even though this daily candle has not closed below the most recent low as yet, so it's still not bearish even though it is setting up to be bearish. So that was my issue right there. But on the 4 hour, we saw a break of structure confirming a bearish movement down. Well, this is the 3 hour, but on the 30 minute, this is where we really started to pay attention to our sessions right here. So right here we marked out this London low. We see that the New York session opened up, went higher and swept this London high and tapped into this Fair Valley gap. Then we waited for a breakout structure and targeted the London low, and we can see that price tapped into the London low, and now it's starting to reverse after. So on the 15 minute, yeah, so on the 15 minute right here, the breakout structure was observed just about well, yeah, it was right here. This was a breakup structure, and I entered off of that. If I held, I could have targeted this area right here for a nice one-to-one, but I would have been upset with the win. But it was. I'm still glad to see that the trade at least went to my first take profit. But as for the actual review of this trade, again, we was trading gold. We were having some clashing biases, but things eventually, well, not worked out. But yeah, I'm glad to say I learned something from this trade. I should have had more patience. I should not have exited so early. So because of that, we suffered a 1.78% loss. I broke my rules most definitely. I didn't respect my bias, and I exited early as well, but right now I'm trying to keep my emotions in check. But hopefully, the daily closes bearish because, if that's the case, we can get some really good confirmations there for the daily. I would really love it if it could close bearish because for next week we could be looking to start selling gold, and we could see some great opportunities open up at that point. But for now, I'm just going to keep watching, keep back testing, keep really just trying to experiment to build up my win rate and my confidence. So that's just all for now. Uh, maybe I should go behind my reasoning for this trade. So this test was a failure. I classified the daily as bearish even though the most recent low was not closed below using a candle's body. I then saw that price was bearish on the 4 hour and took it as a opportunity to go short when the bearish bias hasn't been confirmed on the daily as yet. What's worse is that there was evidence as to this just being a retracement on the daily As you can see, price wicked into a fair value gap and went up after. It was emotional and greedy traded trading. I exited with a 1.78% loss early without stop loss or take profit contact close to my entry when I realized I traded emotionally. So also tomorrow is a news day, which I'm not going to be trading for tomorrow. So I'm going to be avoiding that for tomorrow. But yeah, right now my win rate is around 25%. Uh, so the sample size is still small, but we'll hopefully work it up really soon. But yes, that's all for now. Uh, so yeah, thank you for watching.